I'll make sure we have a good session today.
Yeah, thank you. And if you can give me also recap what happened yesterday, that would be good.
So yesterday, I guess we've written a couple of rules. Hardly, we're just talking about rules and where we use them. So one rule was about age, and the other one is about service in the organization. We have seen how different scenarios can be used when we write rules, like on init or on edit, on view, on save. So these are different options or event types that usually we have when we write when we write rules for the succession objects. Yesterday we have written rules in the succession objects. Okay, so what we are going to talk about today is alerts and notification. Okay, so to set up alerts, it's nothing but a rule again. Remember, we're going to set up a rule again, nothing different. So we'll see how do we do that. So for that, let's go to create alerts. So go to, first we need to create an alert message. So I'm going to manage data. When was that? Someone has any questions? So for example, we can create alert messages. I think I created one, let's see. Work permit expiry. I guess I created all this already. So this is an alert message. If you look at this, so this is a message that we create. So alert header, usually these are called tokens. These are standard success factors. If you'd like to put a user, so you should put subject underscore user. Okay. So what we can do is you can just simply create alert messages like this. So you just give a name, external code, alert header and description. So this is something that will be displayed in your to-do list. Okay, so this is something that will be displayed in to-do list. And then once you have it, once you have an work permit, once you have an alert message, you can also have message notification. This is an example someone put it. So this is an email notification. So this is a message that will be sent to your email. Okay, so this is basically you create a message. This is managed data. This is a standard object called alert message. So you create it. And then what we do is we have to go to business rules. Let me see if there is any already created ones for a customer actually. So this is simple. So for example, what we need to do is I'm writing a rule on a work permit. So this rule will trigger alert notification to users, let's say 90 days before end of expiry. Okay, so 90 days before the expiry date of your work permit, we need to write this rule. So base object is obviously an object in which you need to trigger the rule. So we're triggering this rule in the work permit. You got this one. So if you look at this here, the rule is always true. Then this is your workflow. So what it is so it will send workflow. So if you look at this workflow, so this workflow is nothing but the one for whom you would like to send this alerts for. If you would like to have an alert sent to your administrator, so you need to create a workflow in which your approver or whoever person it is should be your administrator. Or if a manager also needs to receive it, then you need to put them in this place. In the workflow, you need to put both the people who should receive these alerts. Okay? Then the set alert message. What we need to do is set alert message is equal to value whatever message that we just selected or created in your alerts. So these are the alerts, right? So the messages that we just created. So we need to select your alert message and then set the effective date is equal to expiration date minus 90 days. So the alert will be sent to people 90 days before your expiry date. We'll create this rule. If you guys don't feel comfortable this way, we'll create a rule. So this is a alert for workflow. Sorry. Work permit. This is work permit. You can just select anything. This does not have any value actually. So it does not have any link. We put anything, it works. It's just for reporting for you in later date, what type of rules you've written for which thing, then you might have to. Work permit info. Okay. So I'm writing this rule. As I said, this is always true. Then set I need the parameter, guys. So just give me a second. We'll take. So this is needed because we need to select something from alerts, right? So I need to choose the parameters as alerts.
Is alert is another foundation, any object?
It's an MDF object. It's an MDF object.
So the message you created is one of that in the managed data, right?
It's in the managed data, yes, you're right. Okay, so we created this and then we set. Sorry. Alert. I added the parameter called alert. Set alert workflow information is equal to some workflow, whatever workflow that you would like to choose. Okay, so because it triggers it to those people who are available in your workflow. Sorry? Set. So you can choose any of the workflows that you have. So I just take I'll just take something. The problem is it triggers it to those people who are in that particular workflow. Anyway, so we'll just see this. It's just a process we need to set. Then set alert message, right? So the message is equal to value whatever we just did in our managed data. We just added a message, alert message in your managed data. So we need to make sure we set that. Set effective date. So this date is nothing but the date on which an alert will be triggered. So this date is equal to so So we can choose expiration date, but obviously we can't say it should trigger on the last day. So what I'll do is I'll put a date plus. The base date is expiration date, and this one is number 0. Whereas for this one, it is minus 90. That means this will trigger 90 days before your expiration date. So what we're doing here is date plus, that means base date is expiration date of your work permit. If you look at it, I'm taking the date from your work permit. Expiration date minus number of days, 90. So I'm taking minus 90 so that it subtracts from your expiration date. So what happens with this rule? You can also do that. You can do that as well. Let's say if you don't want to give anything, instead if you would like to give minus 3, you should be able to do that as well. Okay? That's what happened. That's what we're doing. So what is the meaning of putting minus 3 and minus 90 together? 3 months and 90 days. So whether you want to deal it in months or days or months and days. If it's months and days, it should be more practical. So it should be like, let's say 3 months and 10 days, which takes 200. Okay, why do you want to put minus 3 and minus 90 together? What is the logic? A question to you, sir. What is the logic in putting minus 3 and minus 90 together?
It could be that every month, not 30 days, right? So it can be 90 days means it's 90 days, and month means it's next 3 months. It could be 29 days or 30 days or 31 days. Maybe that could be the answer, maybe. I'm not sure.
No. He wants to put both 3 and 90 together.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, so for example, if you would like to have 3 months, you can take 3 months, or 90 days, it's 90 days. Okay. So whatever it is, whatever works for you. So you can put it this way, you can write this rule. So have a rule now, or a rule that is triggered, okay, or the rule that is set up. So where should I assign this rule? Where should I assign this rule? This is the only difference between an alert and a rule. This one will be triggered, or it needs to be triggered. When? When an employee expiry date comes to 90 days. If it's 90 days, it should trigger on that date. Or all the people whose work permit is going to expire in 90 days, I need a rule that triggers and sends me this alert. Right? That's the concept of this one. But where do we place it? Because whatever rules we've written, we need to place it either at a field level or at object level, somewhere or the other. So they're all rules, but this is an alert. That's why I said we need to take this separately. Otherwise, writing rule, it's same. It's nothing different. You see, I put a workflow of who it has to go to, and I put a message, who it has to trigger, what message it has to trigger, and when it has to trigger. But how it has to trigger is the only difference between other rules and alerts. How? Sorry? Is it at a field level? Who say it's at a field level? Who will say it's at an object level? Field level only? Okay. How do you trigger? On view, on edit, on save, on init? If I don't go to the employee profile at all? So as you said, what are the options that you have? If I put it at a field level, usually it's at a change. Field, when you put it at a field level, remember the event that you have is always on change. But when you put it at an object level, you've got on view, on init, on edit, on save. Do I go to each employee's work permit object every week or every day to see whether the employees are triggering? No, it doesn't work, right? Because I'm not going to the employee. If I go and see it, what's the point? I can see that the date is expiring. So the functionality doesn't work this way. So it has to automatically trigger some way. Sorry, what is that? That should be at an object level. Same question again. If it's at an object level, as I said, do you go and view his work permit portlet every day to trigger this rule? No. If yes, how many people will you go and see? So you need a person to just go and see work permit. Something that we need to do, but something is triggering a job every day at some time to run these alerts. So there is a job that we need to schedule in the backend, which will run every day by itself. I'll show you that. Just give me a second. I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay, so here in your home screen in your provisioning system, what we can do is here in managing job scheduler, I hope everyone can see the screen. You can see that I can run jobs. Okay, I can run jobs here. I can create a new job which will be created for your alerts. I can put in user as the job owner. Job name is alerts, and this is the job type. This is the only thing that's important. So if you look at it, it's employee central alerts. Where is it? Okay, AEC alerts and notifications. So this is a recurring. So this means the job parameters is it will run after the last successful job. And you can say it runs every day at let's say 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. or you select whatever time that you would like to. Okay, so it runs daily, and you can select a time. You can put some emails which will talk about this one, and it sends an email once okay. So this is what we need to do to trigger your alerts.
Again, we have, why do we have the start time as 2 times? Right?
So that's a start date and end date for your alerts. The second time that you see is the start date and end date. If you would like to run it for 1 year, forever, so there is a start date and end date. The other one is a timing at which you want to run. Daily at 8:30 a.m. is what I selected. And now if I say submit, it runs. Start date is in the past. It's already ready. So it takes US timings. It's a pain. So submit now. Okay, this is submitted. So this will keep recurring and this will keep running and sends you alerts with that message saying, okay, so and so person has a work permit expiry on date. So this is the only difference.
Yeah, we had selected EC alerts and notifications. So in that case, system will identify all the EC alerts which we have created in
Exactly. It takes all the alerts which you have set up, because if you look at it, so this is coming under the object alert. So it takes EC alerts. All the alerts will run at one point in a day.
If we want to specify our own alert and schedule the alert which we had created only, then how to manage it?
I don't think that's possible actually. If you want to schedule just one type of alert and I want to schedule it separately, I don't think it's possible, because alerts are all grouped together and you just do it that way. So for example,
Why because Praveen, some alerts I need to send every starting of the week or starting of the month, and some alerts I want to send it daily. So if I schedule like this, all the EC alerts in the same fashion, same manner, so I think this would be a difficult, right?
yes, I would say, but alerts are not, these are like, as I say, this is not an email or this is not a report which needs to be separate, because this is just a to-do list activity that comes to your to-do list items. So that's why they're all grouped together. But usually if you look at the requirement that you're talking about is more from a reporting perspective. Usually you might have a report on a weekly basis or a monthly basis.
Not report exactly, like if if my customer want to see who are all the people getting retired the coming month, so he want it on the first day of this month, that kind of reports or
so usually if you look at your report, right, so in your rule that you write, let's say you write a rule for retirement. There what you do is set up 30 days. If you don't have anyone retiring in the next 30 days, it won't show anyone. If there is someone, yes, it triggers and sends it to you. Okay, so it just the condition is in the rule. Even though alerts run every day, the condition is in the rule. So if I run this alert, if there is no one with the work permit expiry in next 90 days, it does not do anything.
Okay.
You see, in that case, I can group all the alerts together because the condition is in the rule actually. 30 days is in the rule. Let's say your retirement is in 30 days. It triggers only if you have 30 days condition satisfied.
Okay.
You understand? The logic is not every day. You don't pull all the people every day. It will pull only if you have 90 days for your work permit expiry. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. So this is how you set up your alerts. Repeat? Okay, great. Sorry, what did I do? Nothing, zero actually. I did not do anything. It by default it brought. It's 00 actually, nothing. There is no end date as such. Okay, so let's quickly recap this one because people wanted to do it again. Sorry? If employees have a work permit expiry in 90 days, every day it sends you. If there is someone whose work permit expires, let's say 90 days from today, you will receive an email notification for that person. If there is another person tomorrow, you will receive another notification for that employee tomorrow. If there is 10 people, you receive 10 notifications, not one.
Praveen, Manoj here. See, there is a requirement. Oh, once, okay.
Only once. If there is a notification that is triggered to you that says you're expiring, your work permit is expiring in 90 days, it triggers today, not every day again. It's there in your to-do list, so you need to take some action to see. You need to say at least it's completed, right? Otherwise it keeps stays in your to-do list. No, we're not assigning to object. Right. I'll explain the process. I'll explain the process. Someone, Manoj had a question?
Same, I think. See, for example, the requirement is, for example, 90 days the alert should trigger, and I can do subsequent like 60 days and 30 days. If it comes on 0, it should trigger every day alert to the particular person or with a group of people to the immigration team, HR team, other team. So it's the expiry day. The expiry date is delimited, and this employee should be entered into the work premises or not.
So if you have a rule which says 90 days, 60 days, and 30 days, then you need to put the logic accordingly. 3 rules which will have the same logic, but 90, 60, 30, 15, 10, 5 every day. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay. So as per the requirement, we can able to do the setups.
Right. Yes. Okay. So coming back to the process, I'll quickly explain the process. Sorry.
Even if expiry date is falling under the weekend, so system will automatically take it as a Friday as a expiry date, or it will take it like a Saturday as
no, usually take your date because it's not something that we do in the system. It's a passport expiry or a work permit expiry, so it can fall on any day. Right? So obviously you can't say it's expiring on Saturday, so you have to renew it on Saturday. I don't think no one will wait till the last day to renew your work permit. So that's why we have this logic of 90 days or 100 days, whatever it is, and then you start the process from there. Right? So anyway, so let's quickly come back to the concept. As I said, the concept is simple, right? This rules are normal. As whatever we see, it's the same. What we do is we set a notification workflow, which has to go to those people who are available in that workflow, right? So the people who are available in the workflow will receive this alert message, which we created in manage data. When? On a date. Which date? So 90 days before the expiry date is what we did, which sounds okay till now. But as I said, the problem with all of us is till now, we have seen rules that we have written at an object level or a field level. Because when you write a rule at a field level, the rule will be triggered only when you change the field. Otherwise, nothing happens. If you write a rule at a field level, you don't change the field, nothing works. Nothing happens literally. But what if you put it at an object level? It will trigger only if you view the object or change the object or save the object or do something with the object. If you're not doing anything to the object or if you're not doing anything to the field, then how can it trigger for all the people on a day-to-day basis? So system has to do something. That's why if you look at it, we're using this alert object. There is some programming in the backend. If you look at it, this is an object called alert that I'm using. So alert is an object, which is an MDF object, and we're using that object saying trigger this particular conditions. Okay, based on these conditions, the alert will be triggered based on the job that I scheduled. I'm saying easy alerts and notifications. The reason for that is that alert object will be processed in this job. It's a standard setup. Okay, so whenever I map it to the alert object, the job will process the object and sees the conditions that satisfies and triggers the notifications or alerts. The parameter which I gave is that alert. That's why I gave that alert. Yeah, right. That's what creates you. I mean, that's what creates the link between your employee data and your alert object. So that's why if you look at it here, what we are doing is we are taking only work permit expiry date. This is the expiry date. So this is the only link to your work permit object. If you look at it, this is the only link to my employee data. Otherwise, all these things are coming from alert object. You see, all these things are coming from alert object, which is not there with an employee. So this is the standard object, standard MDF, I mean. So this object is linked to employee's expiry date. Okay, when there is 90 days before this expiry date, trigger a notification is what we are saying in this logic. And system takes the job, which is whatever logic that they put in the backend, I don't know if you ask me, to be honest. So it runs this object, it goes to the object, takes these conditions, see which satisfies the logic and sends an alert based on this particular rule. If there are 1,000 rules, all the 1,000 alerts will be processed daily. And only those satisfied will be sent to the appropriate people. Right? Is that clear, everyone?
Yeah, Praveen, yeah, very clear. Don't cancel it. See,
Okay,
here you
want to
mentioned
note
90
down?
days. Yeah,
Okay.
no, you did 90 days. If you want to make 60 days, how to do that?
You have to write another rule, say it's simple. Copy.
Praveen?
1 second.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, so someone had a question.
Yeah, this is Suresh. Praveen, like here you are creating multiple rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But in the job scheduler, you are saying that we give the alert, easy alerts, whatever. And nowhere you are mentioning which one to run.
Exactly.
And
that's what
so
I
that,
said at the beginning.
in that case,
Mm-hmm.
what do we in our alert object? Can you just show me? I mean, like once again, that what is the managed data alerts should have? Like
We don't maintain any data in manage alerts. Manage data, we don't go and say alert. We only maintain alert message. If you look at it, I just maintain alert message. We only have an option to edit alert message, but not alert. If you have seen it or not, I'm not sure. But let me show you. So this is, Manoj, how you do it for 60 days. I just put 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Work permit is a standard object, obviously. Right? Succession data model. It can be anything. Right. So when I go here to manage data, I can't say alert. I can only say alert message. Alert object is not there for us to edit, as I said. What we are doing is we are mapping all our data or whatever conditions to this alert object. So when we go and run, as I said, so someone had the same question, Suresh, maybe a bit twisted. So the point is simple. If you want to run one type of alert only, it doesn't work here. That's what I said. So all the alerts that you have, system will run this object. So based on all the conditions that are tagged as alert object, whatever satisfies, that will send a notification based on your rule. If nothing satisfies, nothing happens. Only one job for all alerts. There could be thousands of your rules in the front end. Right. Right. Just like how we did. There is a rule which satisfies 90 days condition. There's a rule which satisfies 60 days condition now. So it runs for all those people whose expiry date is 90 days. It satisfies, sends a notification. If it's 60 days, it also sends a notification. Mm-hmm. No, that's not possible. As I said, it will be based on the logic that you put in your rule. Because alert is something which will be triggered whenever that condition is met. Your passport expires in 90 days. It triggers that day. It won't expire on Jan 1st or February 1st or March 1st for everyone, right? It is not on the first of the month. As I said, this is not a report that we generate to someone to say this is what it is for today. These are used when something happens and you need to have a rule that triggers immediately to you. As an administrator, it's your responsibility to monitor this every day. Don't you think so? Your employee's work permit is your responsibility and you need to make sure you test every day that those people whose passport is expiring in 90 days, they need to renew it. You can't say, I will look at your passports only on first of the month. Right? What happens if someone says the passport is expiring on 15th and you don't see it? Right. No, it's not about it because the condition they also have to understand. It's from the rule, as I said. It takes from the rule. Mm-hmm. Right. Whatever conditions, how many ever alerts, whatever conditions, put as many rules as you wish. 90 days, one rule, 30 days, one rule, 60 days, one rule, 15 days, one rule, 10 days, one rule, 7 days, one rule, 5 days, one rule, 2 days, one rule. Then obviously nothing after that. So it's number of rules that you put. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. 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 Mm-hmm. So the whole of EC alerts will be grouped together and you run them. Maximum daily or weekly or monthly, whatever you want to. So this is the one you're talking about.
You cannot take other option because few rules might require daily, few rules might require weekly. So
Right.
ending up only with the daily one.
Right.
Right.
Because as I said, alerts are something that are triggered based on your rules more than your object. Okay, any other questions, anyone?
Can you please show
Praveen?
the alert? The alert.
I'm not sure who it is, but your voice is breaking and also there's a lot of background disturbance.
Praveen, I'm Bhavani here. Can you please show the alert, the configuration of alert once again, if you don't mind?
Sure. You mean the rule or the message?
Alert message.
Okay, you go to manage data. Just go and create alert message. This is just like how we create other messages the other day. You put an external name code and a message header and message description.
Okay.
And if you want some body of the email, you can also put the email notification message.
Is there any limit for this body of the message?
I think it should be fine. Huh? That should not be a problem. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You can change it. That should be fine.
Praveen?
Yes.
Praveen, I have a question here. I say something like I have a requirement in this case. If an employee whose work permit has getting expired for 90 days, I would also have an email notification for him because I don't expect that I always come into the system and look after the alerts, but I also require an email notification which personally lets me know that the message is coming, like how we did for the workflows. Is there any provision for alerts?
So what you can do is for the alert itself, if you put someone in a CC role, where is that rule? You can also trigger business email. So there is an option, yes. There is an I guess you can do it in the workflow in itself, actually. I'm not sure who asked this question, but you know who asked this question? Sorry.
It's mine, sure.
Okay.
I've noticed that because earlier when you were trying to do that, I didn't find any workflow for this. So that is the reason I've raised this question.
No, you can actually include it in the workflow information. So when you put the person in your workflow, obviously your workflow triggered message would be for a CC role, right? So for this particular workflow, you can put that message in the alert. So the email would be triggered with the same text that you put in the alert message, email or body, whatever you have in the message definition. The same message would be triggered.
Can you just show that, Praveen?
I'm not sure if it runs today because I'm not sure about the data and everything. Because that's why I'm just thinking.
Praveen, a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you put a CC role on a workflow, basically the CC role gets a email notification once the approver approves and the workflow is completed, right?
Right.
But say, if I don't have any, I mean, this is not just we are not looking for any approvers. We are just
exactly.
So if you remove the approvers, and there's no approver, so does it treat it as the workflow is completed as soon as it is triggered and CC gets an email?
Yes, CC will just get an email notification when there are no approvers.
There are no approvers, so okay.
Yeah. Directly. There's nothing that will happen except for an email notification.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I guess...
in SuccessFactors we have...
Yes, please go ahead, Manish.
Yeah, we have a static and dynamic alerts in SuccessFactors. For example, see, for example, if dynamic alerts.
You know what do you mean by static and dynamic? I'm sorry, I don't know. So you mean to say something that comes in the screen or something?
Yeah, if, for an example, if there is any changes happen, because we are doing only for writing a rule, stating that if it is 90 days or something, and the rule will not be there. If there is any data got changed in the particular personal information or something, the alert should trigger to the respective HR admin and HR director. For example,
Sorry?
if there is any
any data change, then it needs to trigger a message to your HR administrator. Is it what you're saying?
Yeah, HR administrator. Yeah. Or
so who wants to take this question now from Manoj? So when there is a change to any of your employee data, it has to trigger an email notification to your HR admin. So what will you do?
That has a workflow, right?
What is the difference between a workflow and that workflow for that, or
exactly
when you are triggering any data change? What is the difference?
Exactly. So that's why I asked you who wants to answer this question. So whenever you have other changes apart from your job-related changes, all of them can be considered a data change, right? So when there is any change apart from your regular job information, all of them can be categorized into data change. And for a data change, you can trigger a workflow, which might be a notification to your HR admin. It should be handled. Anything to deal with your employee data, it's a workflow. If it's something that changes or something. If you try to understand the concept of this, the problem is I see there is a misunderstanding of the whole concept of alert. It is not a workflow. It is not a change. It is not a data validation. It's nothing that we're doing. It's like a alarm for people to say, okay, there is something that's going on in 90 days or 100 days or anything. There is something that's happening. Then you want a notification or alert saying, okay, you need to take care of this activity. Just like how we trigger an email or a to-do list item for your personal and performance appraisal. If your performance appraisal is due in 80 days or 90 days, you can put your condition there, which will show in your to-do list, so that it's your responsibility to complete your performance appraisal, self-appraisal. It's ending in 90 days. So till the time you show or complete it, 90 days it will be available there. After that it shows it's due, it's pending. Okay, so it's like an action item which shows in your to-do list, so that you need to take some action to say that's completed or not. You understand the point? It's a reminder in simple words, nothing else. It's not a functionality like a workflow. For all those workflow related functionalities, you have such a complex workflow set up in SuccessFactors which can be utilized. Okay, so there are two different things. That's why I said today it's a separate concept. It's not to do with your data. It's just identifying some field. Okay, there is a trigger on that field which will say, okay, your thing is going to expire in 90 days. Your contract is going to expire in, let's say, 30 days. You need a notification. Simple as this. Nothing else. You don't use alerts for anything else apart from this requirement in EC. Everything else is a workflow. Okay, so let's say your contract is ending. You put the condition on same contract end date and say, trigger this alert to HR admin saying his contract is ending in 30 days. If there is some activity that he needs to do, he needs to do it. Otherwise, do nothing. Say, taken care of, completed. Right? So that's all we do here. Don't get confused. Because you've got workflows, you've got functionality. If you need to send an email notification based on some data change, you'll be doing it through a workflow notification. Put them in CC role, put the message to your workflow, it will trigger. All right, so that's what we do with EC alerts, okay? It's a little different, that's why I've taken it separately, otherwise I could have explained it yesterday itself. I don't want to confuse you guys with the standard rules and this one. So what we're going to learn... Okay.
Sorry. This is What you have gone through yesterday? Which topics you covered yesterday?
Yesterday we just wrote a couple of rules.
Okay.
One
have
is,
we covered the global assignment and time off yet?
No. We are yet to go there. We're yet to go there. We'll be
Okay.
covering them. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. I thought
We're,
maybe I missed it.
frankly speaking, we are going a bit slow compared to other batches because we usually have a lot of questions and everything. So otherwise, usually just by this time we usually complete Employee Central. But that's fine. So it's good because when you have more questions, it's good
I
to
think
have
Employee Central is the most
discussions.
important part, Robin, if we,
Yeah, of course. I'll be, that's why I try to make sure everyone is at least answered. Try my
So
best
if
at
we-
least.
I missed a couple of sessions, Praveen. Is there any way, like you have any other batches, or maybe I'll speak offline, whether there
Maybe
is
we
any
can
way
talk
I can
offline.
attend
Yeah,
the classes
I can tell you. Sure. Okay, so the next important topic that we're going to discuss for tomorrow is our analytics. So what we deal with is advanced reporting and online report designer. And I mean, in addition to our regular ad hoc reports that we do, okay, there is some advanced reporting that we can work on within SuccessFactors. So this is again cross-platform or cross-module, I would say. The analytics module is not Employee Central specific. It's a cross-module cross-platform module because this can be used for all the modules that are available in your system. So here, if you understand the concept, it's simple. Obviously, we might not go and write each and every rule to see what's available. We'll try to understand the whole functionality, how we write rules, how to build some logics, how to build charts, how to build our own custom reports, how do we set up or schedule reports that has to run on so-and-so daily basis, or if it has to update FTP server, that means it's like an interface which sends data to a different third-party server. Or if it has to send data to a person or an external email on a daily basis, all these things can be done through our analytics module. So what we do is we can create advanced reporting where you can pull data from different schemas. When I say schema, it's like job information or personal information or your performance or compensation or whatever modules that you have. All of them are called schemas. So we pull data from different schemas and we can modify, we can use custom filters, we can use some logics, if-else conditions, all kind of BI stuff. Okay, so you can put some kind of joins or editors or whatever you want. So we'll do those kind of things as tomorrow. And then once we have this, we can take these reports, make some pivot charts or everything. Okay, pull some pivot queries and everything. And also, once we're done with this, what we do in online report designer is you can design how your report should look like. If your report has to be in a format which says, okay, company logo on the top, put this text, and then with this particular chart that you prepared. So whatever you want to design your report, we can design it, and then you can also schedule this report to run on a timeline basis, and you can also schedule this report to either send it to a third-party FTP server, or you can send it to a third-party email address or a person within your system. So these are the options that we have within our reporting. So it's quite important. Again, as I said, this is cross-module, not Employee Central specific. Don't think I'm covering it in Employee Central, so it's Employee Central. No, it's not. It's available for all the modules. Okay? So we'll be talking about this tomorrow, which is important. So please make sure you guys prepare other things before we go to the topics from today. So tomorrow we'll complete analytics. The next day we'll take global assignments and few miscellaneous topics that we have. So I guess mass changes we completed already. So we have global assignments pending, concurrent assignment. And then we also take, what else we have pending?
Time off.
Come on. We did not do employment objects and personal objects till now? What did we discuss till now? Succession data model is all about employment and personal objects. I did not understand. I thought we created everything. Okay. No problem. So anyway, I guess what else we have? After that, we'll go to time. That's my plan. If there is some topic that I missed from your list of topics, I don't think we have anything left. But we'll go to time. Time is pretty critical, to be honest, because the perspective of time within SuccessFactors Employee Central has changed drastically in the last 2 years. Nowadays, I get projects only on time. So that's the kind of change that I see in time management. It's like a 3-day or 2-day stuff. If you can concentrate, it's hardly 2 to 3 hours if you try to focus. But I see projects coming on time only. That's the kind of maturity the project has achieved in the last few years, I would say. So it can handle almost anything in the negative time management piece. And 1 day for timesheet, more than enough. So by next week, as I said, mid next week or end of next week, we'll most probably complete our course, Employee Central in time and everything. So today is Wednesday, right? Okay, so I think we should be fine. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start with analytics. We'll see how we can create different reports, and I'll take you through the whole process, starting from detailed reporting to online report designer. We'll use the same reports, see how different things can be done, and then finally trigger this report to a third-party email or anything. Okay?
Yeah, Praveen, thanks.
All right, guys. So I think, yes, sorry.
Praveen, Manoj here. Can you just send us the the real-time alert body? So how it look like?
That's in real time. Actually, work permit is a real time example.
Yeah, real time. But when you send the trigger to alerts, so it gives the body the text messages, right? For example, putting subject as work permit and an employee name, employee number, what is the position if you want to add, and what is the work permit name, and then the work permit expiry date. So all this, how look like the text body?
You won't get all these details in your alert. Alert will simply say work permit expiry in 90 days for so and so employee. That's it. It won't say work permit details, passport number, employee name, employee ID. You won't get all those.
Now,
as I said, this is just an alert. If you want a report, trigger a report, pull a report, and take all the fields that you want and say, send this report to you every day saying, okay, whose work permit is expiring in 90 days. That's a report. But this is an alert, a simple alert in your to-do list, which will say your passport is expiring in 90 days. That's it.
Okay. So
whatever we put in the message that your work permit expiry in 90 days for a user, that's all you get, nothing else. As I said, that's not a report.
Yeah. Okay.
Report will pull all those fields. Your alerts is not capable of doing all this. Alert is just a notification to you.
So we can't do any custom to it in this particular alert.
You can just put the message. That's it. It's just a message that you see in your to-do list. Nothing else.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay, Praveen. Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Thanks, guys. So we'll catch up tomorrow.
Thank you, and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.